Consumer product recalls have hit an 18-year high with more than 900 injuries linked to unsafe products in 2025.
That's a lot. Consumer investigator Christine Lazar here with more on the data, which was just released this morning. This is kind of scary.
Yeah, and I think that we are used to so many recalls that sometimes we ignore them and think they're not a big deal, but they can lead to serious injuries, even death. So it is Consumer Protection Week, and the Public Interest Network, or PIRG, analyzed all of the product recalls from last year, and the results are concerning. The Consumer Product Safety Commission's recall announcements in 2025 covered more than 40 million items, and more than a fourth of them involved children's products. I'm joined now by PIRG's consumer watchdog, Teresa Murray. Teresa, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
So why do we think we've seen such a surge in both the injuries and the recalls?
Well, there are a couple of reasons for that. One, when there is a product that is determined to be hazardous, it takes months and sometimes even years for that product to actually get recalled. We outlined a number of cases where that was true. And then the other problem is even after a recall, after a product is recalled, in a lot of cases, people don't find out about it. We analyzed a bunch of cases where people were getting hurt weeks and months after the product had been recalled for being hazardous.
Now, your Save at Home 2026 report lists some of the most dangerous products you could have in your home. What are some of those products?
Well, the products that were recalled last year, that there was the largest quantity, usually millions of them. There were 48-inch high above ground pools, 5 million of those after 9 children died. We had pressure cookers, Shark Ninja pressure cookers that were recalled because the lids could pop off and explode all the contents over somebody. There were Bowflex dumbbells. There were air conditioning units that were recalled, and there were the big one was the Igloo rolling coolers where you pull it, and there were 1.3 million of those that were recalled because the handle could snap and crush somebody's fingers, and there were actually broken fingers and amputations involved with that.
I mean, such serious injuries, such a wide range of products. What can consumers do to protect themselves and their loved ones?
Yeah, this is what we really harp on a lot, so I'm glad you asked, is one, before you make a significant purchase, anything that costs money or is something that is going to be used by your child, anything that plugs into a wall, do research on the product and the seller, especially if it's online. You know, a lot of times people assume because a product is for sale, it must be safe, and that is so incredibly not true. So just do an online search for the product, look at reviews, look at the seller and see. Sometimes they're not even based in this country, which could mean that they don't follow U.S. safety standards. The other thing is, if you do have a product that, again, plugs in or is for a kid, send in your contact information to the company as if it was like a warranty. We're not saying you should do this for a pair of socks or a coffee cup, but the things that are important where you would want to be notified if there is a recall. And then the last thing is that people should make a habit of checking the CPS, the Consumer Product Safety Commission's recall website. It's cpsc.gov/recalls. Recalls are announced generally every week on Thursday mornings. Once a week is great. Once a month is more often than probably a lot of people are doing it now. Skim the list. It takes like 30 seconds and see if there are any of these products that you have in your home.
Yeah, a lot of times we get that little form that you can fill out so they can contact you for a recall, and people just kind of throw it out with the trash. So one last thing before you go. Do you think manufacturers need to do more to make these products safer, especially because, as you mentioned, it can often take months, even years, for something to be recalled?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Last year we saw a recall on average every 21 hours. That's a lot. And so what we would like to see companies do, I mean, there are standards that are required for like children's products, for hair dryers, for bike helmets, a lot of things like that. A lot of companies don't test products, even the ones that are supposed to be tested. And in cases where maybe there are standards, there's a little bit of wiggle room, they do not do nearly the amount of testing that they should to make sure that those products are actually safe for people. And so manufacturers absolutely need to step up and make sure the products that they're putting on the shelves and that they're advertising online, that they are safe for us. And, you know, especially with imported products, again, a lot of companies that are based internationally, the manufacturers use inferior materials, they use low-paid labor, and in a lot of cases it means that these products that are being sold to you and me are not safe.
Teresa, thanks so much, and the work you do hopefully saves lives. We appreciate it.